This is our second lesson on the topic of surface area and volume. And today we will be talking about spheres and cones, as well as looking at the scale that we learned for surface area in pyramids and using that also again in cones. So again, in math, there is a lot of formulas to remember, but formulas always makes it easier for us to do things. So the surface area of a cone formula is basically the area of the base. So for example, in pyramids, we had to specify, the question had to specify if it was a triangle base, a triangular pyramid, a square pyramid, a rectangular pyramid. That is the base, the stuff that was at the bottom, right? The area of the curved surface is the one where you wrap it around. If you've seen a wafer cone and an ice cream shop is, I guess, doing a handmade, that is your curved surface, right? A shortened version of this formula would be surface area equals to the area of a circle, which is pi times radius squared, plus pi times r times L. L is the slant length of the cone, right? Just like this diagram here that I've drawn in the orange, right? In the orange, that's our slant length of the cone, right? I suggest you draw that down just so that when if you look back on it, you understand where it's coming from. All right. Surface area of a sphere, nothing too hard. Surface area equals to 4 times pi times radius squared, right? We'll use that in just a second. Let's look at our example. So, example 1. Calculate the surface area of the closed cones to nearest two decimal place. So again, strategy from last lesson or the last video was to break down our question, highlight the ones that are things that are really important or your key words. In this case, in the red, I've highlighted or underlined surface area because that's what we're trying to find. Closed cones. The reason why I've highlighted this is because some questions will ask you to find the surface area of an open cone. An open cone is basically an ice cream wafer, right? An ice cream cone. The top is open, so where you put your ice cream, that is an open cone. A closed cone is when there'll be a circle or something to cover it up, right? In this case, it'll be a circle. And again, you want your answer at the very end to be in two decimal place. Okay, let's get started. Question number A. Surface area equals to pi r squared plus pi rl, or slant height. Write your formulas. It makes it so much easier for you to remember if you keep writing it down and you're working out. So r is my radius, 5 centimeters is my slant height. So make it easy for me. If pi r squared is hard for you, break it down. Pi times radius. Our radius was 3. So let's substitute that in. R squared, right? 3 squared plus pi times r was 3 again, times our slant height, which was 5. Now, let's put this into it. 3 squared equals 9 pi. Keep the pi there, right? We'll be talking about that in just a second. 3 times 5 equals 15 pi, right? Pi's are exactly the same. Think about it as collecting like terms, and this will be 24 pi centimeters squared. Again, centimeters squared, surface area, okay? Not volume. At the moment, that's not what we're trying to find. Okay, this here is very important to note. Sometimes some questions will ask you to put it in exact form, right? Exact form means keeping it in pi, right? It looks nicer, but in this case, the question told us to put it into two decimal places. Okay, write this down. Put that into your calculator, 24 times pi, which we will get as 75.398 ... And then you'll just round it to two decimal places places, which will be 75.40 centimeters squared. That's our answer. That's our surface area for this cone. Let's start going to our second question, which is this cone here, B. B, again, I've written down the formula. Let's start doing it. Break it down. Times, oh, okay, we're dealing with a diameter, right? When we don't have our radius yet. So one thing we do is our diameter is 26 millimeters. Radius is half of the diameter. Very important to know, okay? 6 divided by 2. Let's sub that in. Our radius is, we just found it, was 13 squared plus pi times 13 times our slant height is 4. Right, and then let's put this into here. 13 squared is 169 plus 52 pi. And then what we would get is 221 pi, right? Collecting on the like terms. Again, if the question asks me to do an exact form, I'll just leave it like that. But no, it's asking me for 694.2919 two decimal places. So this will be 694.29 centimeters squared. So I'm going to stop the video here and then I'll go do a part 2 on this.